It sits quietly on the pristine flight deck of the USS George H.W. Bush, a single unmarked shipping container. No designation painted on its side, no visible barrel, no antenna, no turret. The flight crew walks past it every day. Most of them have no idea what it does. For half a century, naval warfare followed a strict physics contract. The ship with the biggest, smartest missiles wins. But when the US Navy intercepted and seized an Iranian-flagged cargo vessel on April 19, 2026, Tehran retaliated with exactly the weapon the Pentagon had feared most. They didn't send warships. They didn't launch cruise missiles. They sent waves of cheap, expendable drones toward US naval forces in the Gulf. The drone swarm scenario that carrier strike groups had been wargaming for over a decade was unfolding in real time. The physics contract was broken. When the radar screen lights up with 50 cheap fiberglass targets, the officers inside the Combat Information Center realize something critical. They're perfectly engineered. Million-dollar interceptors have suddenly become a liability. If they engage, they go bankrupt on ammunition. If they don't, the flight deck burns. To escape this mathematical trap, the United States Navy had to abandon traditional firepower entirely. The answer wasn't a better missile. Directed energy weapons had been tested on destroyers before, but no one had ever dared to put one on the carrier itself. The beating heart of the entire fleet. Until now, it was a mysterious shipping container, bolted to the top of a $6 billion nuclear reactor. Welcome back to Navy Decoded. Today, we are going inside that container and inside the math that nearly killed the supercarrier. If by the end you walk away with a new respect for the engineers who found a way to fight an infinite swarm with a finite ship, type proud in the comments. Now, to understand why that box is sitting on the flight deck, we need to go back to April 19th. When the USS Spruance intercepted the Iranian-flagged MV Tusker in the Gulf of Oman, the response from Tehran was immediate. Iran did not deploy its frigates. It did not scramble its fighter jets. It launched waves of one-way attack drones, cheap, expendable airframes, loaded with small warheads, toward US naval forces operating in the Gulf. The scenario carrier planners had been wargaming for years was unfolding in real time. The message was clear: we cannot match your warships, but we can drown them in numbers. And that is when the real adversary revealed itself. Because the antagonist in this story is not Iran. The enemy is math, specifically the magazine depth problem. For decades, the United States Navy has designed its ships to fight over the horizon. The entire philosophy has been to engage the enemy as far away as possible using highly sophisticated, highly lethal interceptors. A carrier strike group is a masterpiece of this doctrine, the Ticonderoga class. Cruisers carry 122 vertical launch system cells. The Arleigh Burke destroyers carry 96. Every destroyer, every cruiser, every aircraft in the formation is optimized for long-range precision engagement. The doctrine assumes the enemy sends a small number of high-value threats, and the strike group eliminates them with surgical accuracy. But the rise of cheap, mass-produced suicide drones has inverted the geometry of naval warfare. A drone does not care about your radar range. It does not care about your stealth. It only cares about one thing: the physical capacity of your missile tubes. If you have 100 interceptor missiles and the enemy launches 150 drones, the math is inescapable. The 101st drone will reach the ship. Let's look at how the carrier traditionally defends itself. When a hostile drone approaches the strike group, the Aegis combat system detects it and launches a kinetic interceptor, typically a RIM-162, Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile, or ESSM. The ESSM is an incredible piece of engineering. It travels at Mach 4. It pulls 50 Gs in a turn. It almost never misses. But it costs $1.5 million per shot. The drone it is shooting down costs $20,000 to build. The intercept is mathematically perfect, but economically disastrous. We are killing a bee with a gold-plated sniper rifle. Every time we fire, we destroy one target, but burn through ammunition far faster than the swarm can be produced. And at sea, resupply is not simple. Once the launch cells are empty, the strike group becomes effectively defenseless. The carrier must turn around, abandon its strategic position and sail back to Riom, not because it lost the battle, but because it ran out of money. How do you win a war when your weapons cost more than the enemy's entire attack force? The Navy needed a fundamentally different kind of ammunition. This is why the shipping container existed. Integrating new weapons into a warship normally takes years. Hull redesign, wiring overhaul, software rewriting, dry dock cycles. But there was no time. The drone swarm was already here. So the Navy chose a shortcut, a modular laser system, a containerized solution, placed directly on the flight deck, connected to the ship's power system, and activated within days. This carrier is nuclear-powered, 2 reactors. Massive energy output. That energy can now be converted into weapons output. We lose missile range. We lose over-the-horizon strike capability. But we gain something else. Endurance. As long as the reactors run, the ammunition never ends. And the cost per shot? About $1. The Navy has turned a 75-to-1 disadvantage into something closer to a 20,000-to-1 advantage. But lasers are not magic. They are physics. They do not destroy targets instantly. They destroy through heat. A focused beam locks onto a single point on a drone and holds it there. This is called dwell time. For about 2 to 5 seconds, energy builds on the same spot. The structure weakens. Materials melt, wings fail, and the drone falls into the ocean. No explosion, no debris, no shrapnel. But there are limits. Rain, fog, salt spray all reduce effectiveness. And it cannot stop hypersonic missiles. So it is not a replacement, it is a layer. A system designed to handle cheap threats, so expensive missiles are preserved for real threats. The laser does not make the ship more powerful. It makes it economically intelligent. Without it, every threat drains the same missile pool. With it, the system gains discrimination. Cheap threats get the laser. Serious threats get the missiles. The nuclear reactor becomes an infinite defensive shield. And now the question becomes larger than engineering. If a $6 billion supercarrier needs a shipping container, laser just to survive cheap drones, what does that say about the future of naval warfare? Is this true adaptation or just temporary survival against a faster-growing swarm? Are we solving the problem of future warfare, or are we only buying time before the horizon gets darker?